2017 is coming to a close. This year has brought many upside events as well as its fair share of downside events. From saving lives to losing lives, this year has been one struggle after another. But now, Christmas is here, and I decided to end this year on a high note. And so now, I'm your host Spencer, here to bring to you this year's top 10 events that changed lives. Now, imagine an event that doesn't happen for decades on end, something that has wowed the human race for generations. That's right, I'm talking about the solar eclipse. This event was phenomenal, and millions of people joined in to witness its splendor. The last time that a solar eclipse happened across the contiguous US was in 1979, a whopping 38 years in between. And to think that I feel impatient for the next season of My Hero Academia. Media, the combination of technology and information that ties us all together, and potentially may improve the lives around it. This year, one 16-year-old happened to do just that, and on complete and utter accident. That's right, I'm talking about Carter Wilkinson. So, this guy decided to tweet Wendy's requesting a lifetime supply of chicken nuggets. And incidentally, it worked. Out of nowhere, the tweet became the most retweeted tweet of all time. Man, that's a lot of tweets. But not just that, Wendy's then swiftly responded saying that they would oblige him. Kirk Kane, the Chief Concept and Marketing Officer, replied, "You've more than earned our respect and our nuggets." Right after this event, Wendy's donated $100,000 to the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. It's ridiculous, which Wilkerson himself told his followers to go ahead and donate to it as well. Like, this one tweet may have changed thousands of lives. Wells, a kingdom much like any other, but now is willing to bend the rules. Kingdoms are known for their strict rules and regulations revolving around the family. In order to become a royal, you practically have to be royal yourself, so you can't date some random commoner. But that has all changed. Currently, Prince Harry is to be married to Mary Meghan Markle. She's just a celebrity from America, of all places, marrying into the Welsh royal family. This is absolutely unheard of, and makes it feel almost as if these two people are living within an actual Disney movie. Now let's divulge into the more touching side of things. Disasters happen, and we find ways to deal with them, whether we want to or not. This causes many to look towards relief efforts in order to be saved in a crisis. However, this year some were not as lucky, and a group of animals were being turned away from multiple different shelters due to overcrowding. Pets and the like were being just left out of the shelters, basically to their demise to the Hurricane Harvey. However, in this dark time, one company decided to stand up to the rescue. That's right, we're talking about Southwest Airlines. They came in and saved over 60 animals during this crisis. The operation, known as Operation Pets Alive, then partook in taking these animals from Houston to San Diego. Once in San Diego, the animals were then able to find a home at Helen Woodward Animal Center. Weddings, an event that can be celebrated by all. A time for congratulating a newly formed bond. However, not all go quite as planned. This year, Sarah Cummins ended up calling off her wedding. However, the wedding kind of cost around $30,000 in total. But instead of wasting all of this money and all the setup that they spent to prepare this wedding, they then decided to improvise. This woman decided to invite all the local homeless shelters to gather together to feed a meal to the homeless that was once prepared for her marriage. Sarah Cummins said, and I quote, "I will at least have some kind of happy memory to pull from." And she said, "I wanted to make sure it would be the perfect wedding." The local news, usually known for its depressing anecdotes, ended up and happenchanced upon a really joyful news report. CBS News anchor Pat Gallen was assigned to a local Toys R Us to report on the Black Friday events. However, to everyone's surprise, one man showed up to change everyone's spirit in a very generous and uplifting way. A New Jersey man by the name of Charlie K arrived on the scene to get some Black Friday supplies and some gifts that he had bought for his son. However, instead of just getting those gifts, he then proceeded to pay for all 350 layaway gifts that were being held at the Toys R Us. How much was that? That was 8,000 gifts in total. I mean, that is ridiculous. And after this, he also began to ask everyone in the store to select 3 items that he could donate all these items. He paid for them, bought them, and donated all of them to Toys for Tots. After all of this, Charlie K had but one thing to say. He said, "I'm trying to bring some happiness to the people, to the community that brought happiness to me and my family." He told CBS News, "I love this community, and I am trying to provide back to it." Christmas, a time of thanks and caring. For as they say, it is the season to be jolly, and what better way to find joy than in our own families? Sadly, some aren't as fortunate as others. We may lose our loved ones, but even then, we will never forget them. I, being a man who has lost in his life, know exactly how that feels. But one Christmas, this Christmas, in preparation for this Christmas, one miracle occurred that brought some family members back together. And this year, a miracle changed the life of 2 twins. For Christmas, the parents of Audrey Doring decided they wanted to give her some information about her past. However, when digging into their past, they had learned that she was in fact a twin. Not just any twin, a twin of someone who was also adopted by another American family that only lived like 2 or so states away. And so they tried hard to contact her adopted twin's family. Eventually, they tracked down Gracia Rainsbury and her family. And not only that, they were brought together by Good Morning America. These 2 twins that had never met each other came together for the first time. Now, I gotta say, real talk here, I don't know who I would be without my sister. She's been amazing to me, always supporting me, my videos even. She's helped me make some videos. I mean, she's the best. She even was willing to buy my PlayStation 4 so that I could pay rent one time because I lost my job for a while. Like, she's by far the best sister I could ever ask for. And so seeing that these 2 siblings that had never met each other were able to get together, it's pretty amazing. Science has come a long way over the years, from curing illness to providing limbs to those who have lost them. However, this year, a group of scientists were able to invent a spray gun that is just amazing and will change everything. This device, known as the skin gun, actually takes stem cells from the burn victims, and you spray it directly onto the burn, and the stem cells start to grow and reform into new skin. But not only that, it actually helps prevent scarring. So many burn victims who would have had scars ended up without them during the tests. This device is currently awaiting FDA approval. However, it has already been proven to be incredibly successful for patients in both the US and Germany. Looks like 2018 is going to be a bright future. The beach and fun combine together to make a magnificent place to be. However, sometimes things don't always go as planned. Allow me to set the scene for you. A beautiful day hits, and a family decides, let's go to the beach. Eventually they arrive at Panama City, Florida Beach, where the current is much stronger than average. After a while, 34-year-old Roberta Ursray's family discovers that two of the young boys that they had come with them ended up getting swept away by the current. Quick to action, all 6 family members that were present dove into the water to save these 2 boys. However, in the end, they got swept by the current as well. So a total of 6, 7, 8 people are all just out floating in the ocean with no way to get back to shore because the current is just too strong. So then this is insane. 80 people, 80 bystander people that were just there noticed the ruckus. They saw what was happening, and immediately all 80 of them got together to save these people. They actually chained link. They connected together from the beach out to these 6 people, and slowly but surely they pulled each one and reeled them back to shore. Now, this last event is more sensitive than all the others combined. It's very heavy. It is a disaster that it happened. I mean, you hear these things happening, but this is by far the worst that has ever happened. And out of it, there was one person who really stood out in this crisis and saved so many lives, so many lives. It was truly a miracle. So on Route 91, there was this Harvest Country Festival that was taking place, a music festival. And there were, thousands of people there enjoying the day, just with their family, friends, kids even. And out of nowhere, just a rain hell of bullets came and just took out so many people. Some shooters just started shooting up the place, and there was one guy, Jonathan Smith, and he's a 30-year-old repairman. He comes out and he starts yelling to everyone in the crowd. He's yelling, active shooter, let's go. And he starts leading these people out. He's guiding them to try to get them away, as far away as they can, but at the same time they can't get very far because they're constantly shooting. So what he does is he guides them to the parking lot. He takes them to a handicapped space behind a bunch of cars that are lined up, so they're able to get mostly everybody behind, right? However, there are these group of girls, and they don't realize that they are not quite undercover. Or maybe it was that they couldn't get undercover because there were just so many people, who knows. But Jonathan, this guy, after pulling all these people, after yelling at all of them, warning them to get down, he then realizes that they're in harm's way. And so he stands up. He gets up out of cover to warn these people. He completely exposes himself to the shooters. And, he turns to them, yells at them, like, get down. Oh my goodness. They can still shoot you from there. And he gets shot. Right in the neck. Now, he ends up in the hospital, obviously, after relief efforts occur. The police arrive at the scene, medical shows up to help people, and they take him to the hospital. He gets hospitalized. But then his sister, and this is pretty amazing, his sister, she goes, to the hospital to meet them and everything, and they find, $7,000 medical bill for his neck. It's not cheap. Most people can't afford that, and they could not afford it. However, his sister, this is insane. She goes to GoFundMe.com, I think is what it's called. But it's a website where, you can fund projects or whatever, and she goes to GoFundMe in order to, request help on their medical bills. The $7,000 medical bill. In less than a day, like way less than a day, they don't just meet, they surpass the $7,000 goal for this guy. I mean, he saved lives. He was incredible. Most people in that situation would just panic. They'd run. They'd hide somewhere under a table. Who knows? I know I would. I'm not sure I would be thinking straight enough to start guiding people to somewhere that's safe, to get them all down, and then to get back up again, to jump back into the fray, to save some more people. He literally took a bullet for these people that he saved. He saved over 30 people. I mean, it's incredible. So, this year, I guess, when you look at all these things that happened throughout the year, and to look forward to this Christmas, and then to next year as well, let's just think about, what we can do for each other. Remember that if you're struggling or in need, the world, people in this world are there for you. Like, we might not think it, we might think strangers on the street, but if we're willing to step forward and ask, to let people know we're struggling greatly. You might end up in a situation where you lose your home, your job. You might be homeless. Who knows? There's so many things that could happen, and it's scary to think about, sure, but in these times, we need to remember, people are willing. People are ready. They're holding out a hand. We just gotta call it out. We need to not hide ourselves, but come forward and be like, I have this problem and I cannot fix it. And just remember that we're all there. We'll be there holding out a hand, willing to pull you back up. So, thank you all for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.